fantasies awaken to his parents. The world hasn't been very nice to boys. We seem to only want to use them for wars and gangs and other things. Lately, we've disposed of boys. But a boy comes with a very high value. Usually, it doesn't matter his race, color, or creed, or the religion. Circumstances often impacts him, but he can become a man. I just want you to think, boys matter.
So you gotta fix the hair, you know.
Yeah, welcome to EMIY, Put Your Family First podcast. We come out the gates talking about boys. Y'all know that's where it all started with me. Was in the building today. Shout out to Covenant House for the contract. We was in the building today doing the work. And just excited. How you doing, Miss Heather?
I am well, thank you.
Good. So today, I'm sure you got something up your sleeve, seeing as that you missed last week. She missed last week.
Did I?
Yeah, it was just me and we was in here going.
Well, that's not difficult for you. So
Yeah, we was in here going. Like, let's get it in.
Mm-hmm. So our topic today is healthy family entertainment. Healthy family entertainment.
Okay.
And just, I think it's important that as we talk about putting our family first, that we start and we expand what we consider family fun. I think we start and expand what we consider what we can do together, because it's really important to make those investments and those seeds that we want our children to have. We want them to have a healthy family. We want them to be able to do things with their family and have fun. But the only way that we can show them and model that is to actually do it ourselves. So I'm excited to talk about family time to kick this conversation off.
All right, let's go.
So I know we talked about this on previous shows that part of our practice in our household is around having family time. We call it Family Day. So for us, Family Days happen on Wednesdays, and there's a variety of activities. Sometimes it's out to dinner as a family. Sometimes it's having family conversation around bills and life goals and understanding each other and dealing with anger issues or issues that had surfaced before that maybe were unresolved or misunderstood. But mostly that time is around having fun together. And so because I am the Scrabble queen, I just want you to know that. I beat Calvin.
Won. She finally won.
I beat Calvin in a way that he probably shouldn't be showing himself in public.
She finally won.
Yeah, so I was really happy to have that experience to show my wordsmith skills, but just to be able to have time where you can have fun. So actually, one of our last games, there's a game around social skills, manners. It's a board game, but it's like 6 games in one. But each board game is a lesson. So what do we think about values? How do we handle certain, decisions that we have to make, certain situations that we have and we face? And it really is such an awakening way to get to know your family members and how they think and what their values are, their personal values, but that sometimes we don't ask about. We just assume that somebody feels a certain way. But when you start to learn about each other in new ways, and so this particular board game is called Social Skills, and it has a social skills with a Z at the end. And again, it's 6 board games in one. But it's really, it talks about empathy and compassion. That's one of the games. But just to give you a framework of how important family time is. And so whether that's a day, an hour, whether it's a trip, whether it's reading together, because we do also have that in our family time where we read together. I have a projector, and so sometimes I use the projector to either watch a documentary or we participate. We still have online activities. We've done online workshops and seminars together as a family. So just being able to be creative, it's a little bit difficult. Well, it's common to watch things on a lot of people have flat screens and these big giant TVs. Well, we don't quite have that big giant TV, but I do have a projector and a screen that I can hook up to my computer. And then we can have that movie for some of you guys who already had that, like movie seating in stadium already in your house. I think that's pretty cool. But for us, we're still old-fashioned. So it's an old-fashioned screen and projector that we use to kind of enlarge our experience. But the being able to spend time and getting to know each other is so critical in our families, because sometimes we think we know somebody, we think we know our children, and we think we know what they feel and what they're thinking and what they're experiencing. And that's not always true, and it's not always accurate. And so the more you're around, the more conversations you have. And these conversations, so in family night, we try to look at our conversations without all of the, having to parent in the same way. So always correcting and disciplining. We try to step back a little bit and not be so critical, not be so in parent mode where you always are teaching instead of listening. And so we're getting better at it. We're still doing some corrective, conversation during family time. But the idea is that our kids can be free, and that we can listen and watch them express themselves without, putting all the pressure on correction all the time. So kind of moving in that direction is a good opportunity for, again, all of us to learn and grow together, even when it's multi-generational. So we've done things with my mom present, and she loves doing stuff like that. She loves being the grandma. She's the honey. That's what she calls herself, honey. And so as she's in her honey mode, she's in her grandma mode. So she's super duper protective. But having that intergenerational connection is really important in our families, so that we continue to value our elders. Because one day I will be that elder at the same. My mom's 80, so I'll be in that space, and then I'll be looking at our kids to help us to be the adults at that point, to be the ones that help care for us and help us navigate some of the spaces where, as you get older, they're just spaces where you need support. And so if we put those seeds in our kids now, as we grow and we age and we mature, they also age and grow and mature. And they're ready to handle those kinds of situations. And they also have an appreciation, value, and a sense of empathy and compassion for those of us who are, getting older. And so I think that's important. Don't you, Calvin?
I sure do. It's almost just about as important for us to understand why those things have to be, done, right? I think a lot of times that we look at things from a perspective of not understanding, but sometimes as men, we have to stay on it till it's gotten. And that's one of the things that is missing. For you to be able to complete this process, right?
What does that look like? What does completing the process look like?
Well, if you're given a task,
Mm-hmm.
once you master the task, we don't have to say anything. So if I teach you, I have an expectation that you to master it. Once you master it, we don't have to say anything. If you have not mastered it, we have to repeat it until you master it.
So give an example. Give an example what you mean.
Taking the garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
If I got to tell you to take the garbage out, you know you're supposed to take the garbage out. So if I got to constantly tell you to take the garbage out, you have not mastered it. If I got to constantly repeat myself on something that should be automatic, right now you should be on automatic pilot for certain things, especially when you start getting further up in age. We on Saturdays we're supposed to get up. Nobody should have to tell you that. We know that, right? Where we come, we come from. The reminder was a whooping.
True.
right? That was your reminder. Today, there's not we don't necessarily mark that because there's inconsistency. There's inconsistency in the parenting. So they don't get to master nothing, because if you got them, and this is, y'all can take it how you want, Mom. Y'all always got something going on. So what would be a normal task is going to be interrupted because y'all are always doing something else. So it being a consistent, normal task, right? Well, if you got to go to the store, come on, go to the store, right? Yeah, we don't trust them, right? I'm about to go to the market. You need to go with me, right? And some things, because of that, I've been taught not to complete a task.
That's real. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so you told me to do this, but now you want me to go here. Okay, now when I go there, you reminded me when we get back, I got a whole nother task. So you've taken me from one task to the second task to the third task, so I have not learned to complete a task.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. I can see my
This is
my
where
guilty flag
the capes, right? This is where the capes come in. This is where dads, right? This is where dads come into play, but dads have a lot of the same energy now. So dads come in with that same type of energy because that's what he was raised in. So no task is ever completed, right? Because I've moved you around. And so now when I go to class, I don't have to complete the task. I got the excuse right here. I need you to complete section 112 to 114. You could do 112 to 114 because you had a reminder that I need to get this done. Now, I need you to complete section 112 today at the mentoring. One dude tried to talk his way out of the whole time. He was study talking. I said, brother, you still talking, and everybody is finished but you. And what that come from is he never had to complete a task. And so you mad at him when you wake up and realize, oh, he didn't do the first task, but you moved him from task 2 to task 3 to task 4. Now you wake up and you back at task 1. This is confusion. And that is another reason why they struggle in school.
And you bringing that up because now actually we're talking about acceptable culture. So still with a healthy family entertainment, we're still talking about that, but we're kind of framing it in some of the things that happen in our household. So we start off with family time and how important it is for families to spend that time together, to get to know each other, to establish values, and to seed in the lives of our children, so that as we get older and as they get older, that they have some of those seeds to help cultivate who they become and the values that we're trying to pass on to them. And then secondly, as you're talking about, this is a legacy of acceptable culture. And when we talk about acceptable culture, we talk about things that happen in our households first, and the things that we accept as the people who are part of that household. Then it spills over into our friendships, it spills over into our relationships, and then it spills over into our community. And what we see in our community is acceptable culture. We see blight and litter and unhealthy behaviors. Like you can pull up to somebody, you're at a traffic light and you have a big weed cloud that is in your car now. And so that has become acceptable culture. Like people may not even recognize that what they're doing in their car still affects somebody else in theirs. Same thing with music. All of those things have become acceptable culture, but they started somewhere. And typically the origin of that is in the household. If it was acceptable at home, it's acceptable in public. And so it's important that we give attention to that as we're talking about what's healthy family entertainment.
Yeah. So let me touch on this because you didn't open up Pandora's box, so I got to go there, right? So when you say that, right, in terms of understanding what is impacting the child, right? let's look at the terms of what we consider, and even in this context that we're talking about family. But let's look at the makeup. If all I want you to do, Monique, is to love me, I'll supply you with everything that you want, except for the things that you need. Right? So I want you to love me. I don't want you to love the other parent.
Or share the love.
Or share the love.
Okay.
And this is in-house or out. Doesn't necessarily mean in-house fathers struggle with this too. Right? So this is in-house or out. You don't know what you're doing. You cut that, and we do this in front of the kid. Right?
Undermine.
And so now what happens is the kid is sitting around, you trying to do something, and he looking over and waiting on you to respond. So what has happened essentially, right, is we've trained millions that the mother's voice is the right voice, and yet we've incarcerated millions on that same voice. Kids need both parents. Men have to step up. Men have to be in their kids' life. Men have to step. She's talking about a family, right? And the 10 things, right? We're going to get to that, right? But you're talking about family and 10 things that families can do. One of the things family can really do is actually care about their child's education and teach them to read. Even if you don't know, find the tools to teach them to read. I mean, like, let's get real that parenting is not, I'm going to reward you just to reward you, even if your kids go to CPS, juvenile, jail, whatever. You got to wear that. Right? And for the life of me, that's the last piece, and I'm getting off this horn. I cannot understand how a city that's all black, at one point in time, 75%, there was 75, 75% of the dollar stayed within the city. I can't understand why we sold out. We get these businesses, build the businesses, and we sell out. We don't train and pass it back on, right? I don't understand that, where our philosophy comes in that, okay, my dad built this or my parents built this business and it's not valuable enough for me to follow it, and you were born in it. I don't understand how you have an all-black city and you have a propensity to kill each other the way that we kill each other and then yell unity, racism, black power, all of this, and we're constantly at war with each other through words and firearms. I don't understand that, right? So you have a majority black city and the businesses are not ran by majority black. I don't understand that, right? So what I'm really not understanding, and I'm going to get off this and you do your thing, what I'm really not understanding is how the acceptable culture is acceptable failure. And I always got somebody to blame. You know why? Because I wasn't taught to complete task. And that's one of the things that goes into why truancy, poor grades, bad reading levels, poor math, is because I'm teaching the wrong things. All right, let's go. Let's get to the 10.
Well, I
It's 4:26 too, so we got a surprise for the people in about 4 or 5 minutes. But go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say that we're still talking about acceptable culture, and I believe what you said is really key. That we teach the habits that we say we don't want our kids to have. If we're dishonest, we have an expectation that our kids are going to tell us the truth. But if we're not telling the truth to our friends, the people on the phone, the people on social media, your kids are seeing that. Our kids are seeing that. And our kids actually pay attention to what we do and not as much as what we say.
And what we're doing?
What we're doing is destructive behavior. What we're doing is planting the seeds that we don't want in our children when we need to be planting the seeds that we do want. But that starts with us. And I think that's an important part of our acceptable culture. At home, what are we planting? And we have to really pay attention because we are their teachers. We're teaching them behaviors, we're teaching them attitudes, and then we walk out and we wonder why there's so much violence in our community, and it's growing. Our kids at younger and younger ages are experiencing sex, making a choice. They are smoking and vaping. It's a lot of kids. It's amazing to see kids vaping. I mean, and they're just in open spaces, and they're perfectly comfortable doing it with you around school grounds and, walking down the street, just all kinds of things. We have allowed that to be acceptable. And, and we know that some of that starts at home, but what we're learning is that we are responsible for our community. And there's a way to approach someone. There's a way to share that they're cared about, and what they're experiencing is not what we want them to experience. We want them to experience life, and life in abundance, and cultivated, and all of these experiences and fun. Our kids should be having fun. They shouldn't be, hung over from alcohol and weed and vaping. That's an unhealthy use of their energy. They're supposed to be out creating and inventing and taking us to the next level. We have to help prepare them for that. So I kind of wanted to just put the period at the end of that statement around acceptable culture, and that's our legacy that we're living and that we're seeing. We can shun the behavior all we want to, but we're part of that culture. We made it acceptable, and so we have to make it unacceptable. But that has to be in our behavior, and it has to be in the seeds that we cultivate in our children and our family.
Remember what I said to you the other day that was bugging me about what took place at the shop? Mm-hmm. Right? Why I go sit down and I tell my man, and my man reverberated to me without no names exactly what I was feeling was fact. That there was no regard for who and what I was preying on.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because I was like, yep. It just answered the question. Acceptable culture.
Right.
But let's...
Yeah, because you can't even get into that story.
Right, okay, so...
the last... Wait, okay, so...
Before you get into that...
Okay.
Commercial break. Every athlete, every person, every human being has an opportunity. Some opportunities don't come when you want them. But if you're prepared, good opportunities can happen. Always be ready, because you never know when your number is gonna get called.
I'm not coming back.
EMIY Apparel. Encourage me. I'm young.
I do love that commercial. I do love that commercial. I'm not coming back. He's like, I'm off the bench. No, I'm not coming back. That is such an important message. Not going back to the thing that you've been delivered from, the thing that you've elevated from, not going back to what it used to be, but going into something new. That is such a powerful message. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not coming back. It's EMIY Apparel. I'm putting that on TV. That one's going on television. They might as well get ready. Yeah, I don't know what they thought, you know what I mean? But I'm so grateful. So let's get into that's EMIYapparel.com. We here. I got my eyes focused and loaded. So let's go.
So this third category that we're going to kind of kick off to the end of the show is the value of family fun. And so I just what I did was I did a search for fun family events in Detroit. And the thing that I find that's really interesting is that when you put Detroit in a search, it becomes then Metro Detroit. So it moves outside of the city boundaries. And for this particular one, I'm going to tell you how many of so it's 10 here. And the actual number that is actually in the city of Detroit, nope. No. I'm on number 5 and I'm still saying no. Number 6 and 7, no. The only thing so far out of 10 is the Michigan Science Center, Mount Elliott Park. So it's 2 out of the 10 events that they say are in the Detroit Family Fun. 2 out of 10 is only in the city. So I'm gonna go through this list, but we're gonna add to the locations that are actually in the city of Detroit and give honor to our city and what it has produced and created for families. Okay, so the list, I'm gonna do a countdown and go backward.
Why don't you start there though?
Start where?
On the ones for Detroit. Instead of starting there, start with the ones that you have for Detroit. Let's start there.
I want to go backward because I want to talk about and highlight the ones that are in Detroit so I can get past these.
Okay, so go to the 2 then.
You don't interrupt my flow.
We're not about to argue.
I'm working this in. So you want to throw some things in?
You just said something so significant, did she not? You just said something about Detroit, and you was going to say the things that's inside of Detroit.
I said I'm going to count down on these first, and then we are.
That's
going
giving
to
them
add.
too much. Give the ones in Detroit. That's all I was saying.
No, I'm saying these are family fun first.
Okay.
Thank you. So this was the best family things to do in Detroit. What to do for fun in Detroit with your kids. So the first one they had was Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. They had, and I wanted to make sure I gave you these phone numbers too. So the phone number is 313-833-7900. This is on Oakwood Boulevard in Dearborn. It's open from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The second one is the Detroit Zoo. And the Detroit Zoo phone number is 248-541-5717. It is located in Royal Oak, Michigan on 10 Mile, West 10 Mile. And it's open daily from 9 until 5 p.m. Number 3, C.J. Barrymore's. It says spend the day, a vast outdoor play park. I haven't been there myself. Our engineer Monique has been there before though. So the next one is located at Hall Road in Clinton Township. It's open Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. and Saturday from noon to 10. And it's closed Sunday through 9 to 8:00. Number 4 is Legoland Discover Center, Michigan. And Legoland is located at Baldwin Road in Auburn Hills. It's open daily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the phone number is 248-409-6001. The next one is Sea Life Michigan Aquarium. It is located at Baldwin Road, Auburn Hills. It's open 10 to 6 p.m. as well. And the phone number is 248-409-6001. And number 6 is Greenfield Village. It is located on Oakland Boulevard in Dearborn, Michigan. It's open daily from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. The phone number, 313-982-6001. Number 7 is Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum, which I have been there. I really like that place. It's located on Orchard Lake Road, Farmington Hills, Michigan. It says the hours may vary. The phone number is 248-626-5020. Number 8, which is one of the Detroit-based locations, Michigan Science Center. It is located on John R. Street in Detroit. It's open Wednesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is closed Monday and Tuesday. And the phone number is 313-577-8400. Number 9, again in Detroit, is Mount Elliott Park. Mount Elliott Park is located on Mount Elliott Street in Detroit. It is open daily from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And the phone number is 313-566-8200. And the final destination is Midway Sports and Entertainment, which I've been there too. It's on Van Born Road in Taylor, Michigan. It's open daily from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the phone number is 313-277-9156. So, according to, let me see, who is the source on this? According to, this is hotels.com. They say that the 10 most fun things to do in the city of Detroit were the 10 I just outlined. Now we're going to talk about some things that exist in the city of Detroit where there is absolutely room for family fun. Calvin, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No, not not one bit.
Nothing to add?
No, let's go.
You don't have any family events? No family fun events? No? Okay. You need some help. You need some help. So we have the African American Museum. We have the Detroit Historic Museum, which is an awesome place.
Where are
to be.
their addresses and phone numbers and all of that stuff you just did for the mother ones? Where that at?
Do you want to complain?
I was complaining when you started. You did all of that, and you named their telephone numbers and everything. Where's those telephone numbers for the African American Museum?
You can Google that.
Wow.
Since you want to complain and not provide the number, you can always look it up and share it with our audience, those who are listening.
Wow.
Right.
You got another list of 10 that you could say in the city, but you don't have no numbers or nothing? Come on now.
Okay, so you can go ahead and find those numbers.
Come on now.
Another place that families can go for fun is the main library and Wayne State University. So they always have family events, and they always have lots of educational programming. Another place that offers that is the DIA, Detroit Institute of Arts. They also have family programming. They have lots of arts and crafts. They have a lot of cultural events at the DIA as well. And in addition to just the appreciation for the beauty of the art that's there.
So the Charles H. Wright African American Museum is located on 315 East Warren Avenue in Detroit, Michigan. Zip code 48201.
When is it open?
And they're open from 9 a.m. Tuesday through Sunday to 5 p.m. And their number is 313-494-5800. If you get a membership, you can get in and out for free. Get you a yearly membership.
Detroit Historic Museum. Are you going there next?
I was going to the Comedy House.
Is family fun we're talking about? I don't know if a comedy house is for family fun.
Yes.
Maybe adult fun, but we're talking about
It's
something
called
that families
One
can
Mic.
go.
One Mic is located on 1331 Broadway Street, Detroit, Michigan. Opens 4 p.m. every Tuesday. They have food and entertainment and comedy.
For families?
For families. They do comedy, clean comedy for families. They don't just do dirty comedy. They do clean comedy. Bring clean comments in, and everyone can laugh. The number is 313-921-6453. Mike Epps has also come and spoken to our children, not C.J. Barrymore's. What's the next one? The DIA.
What was the point for dropping that nugget?
We talking Detroit.
We're talking family fun. Family fun. That's an important piece.
The DIA, Detroit Institute of Arts, who often does so many African arts and bringing in things from Europe and showing and exploring art from all over the world brought right here into Detroit. Right? The address is 5200 Woodward Avenue, Detroit, Michigan 48202. They are open Tuesday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday, and Friday, 9 to 9 p.m., then Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 5 p.m. Their number is 313-833-7900.
Can you go to the Wayne State Library as well? While you're looking that up, I'm going to keep going with my list. And one of the classic places in the city, of course, is Belle Isle. And now the entertainment and enjoyment for family fun, it has extended beyond. There's lots of family activities to do downtown where you can walk from one side of the bridge to the other at this point. There's a, just on the other side of the bridge, there's a park at the foot of West Grand Boulevard and the river. It actually ends at the Detroit River. They added a skate park there. They've added seating. They've added, what do you call it? Not the telescopes, but the viewfinders that you can look across the river and see into Canada. You can do bird watching. They have lots of family-based activities that you can engage in all along the riverfront. And I believe they just started and almost completed the next phase behind the post office on 4th Street.
Belle Isle, located on the waters between Canada and the U.S., the island of Belle Isle is a must-see destination. With an aquarium, conservatory, nature center, museum, beaches, and more, we've mapped out a to-do list to make sure they even brought back the giant slide, where you could go on the giant slide that's been there since probably 1962.
I'm kind of sad that they closed the zoo that was on Belle Isle. I really like that zoo. But the aquarium is open too.
The zoo was through.
Not when it opened.
The animals was in there. The zoo was in there. The animals was in there like, hey, we'll work for food science.
No,
they had a half a llama. You know what I mean?
When it first opened, it was populated, and it was exciting to spend time with the animal.
We used to race model yachts. So back in the day, you used to have to make a yacht, and you could go down to Belle Isle as a school, and we used to race our model yachts in the one little section on the south side of Belle Isle, where schools would come, middle schools, and you had to build this model yacht. And you had to go through the whole process with the lead, and they taught us how to build the model yacht. Then you put the model yacht, and put the water in there and did this thing. That's all. But
you pulled way back with that memory. But I'm glad you have it.
Yes.
Because
what's the next one?
That actually expresses the point about the seeds that are planted and cultivated in our children, so that when they become adults, they have those ideas about what family fun looks like, what community fun, what innovation looks like. You have an opportunity to build on those seeds and add those to your kids too. Let me see. That was all the locations that I had. There are lots of other ones, and I encourage you all to explore and be mindful that when you do your search for the city of Detroit and you're looking for fun and family entertainment in the city of Detroit, you have to keep refining that search to actually bring it to the city of Detroit.
No, we're not going to stop there. You can also visit the Motown Museum, located on East Grand Boulevard. Mm-hmm. Right? It is 2648 Barry Gordy Jr. Boulevard. That's in Detroit, Michigan, 48208. Did you know more Britons celebrate the Motown Museum than Americans? In fact, it is a known destination for the Brits to come to Detroit and visit the Motown Museum.
And well, the expansion of it is going to be beautiful.
It's already happening.
I've seen some of the mock up of that whole area on the other side of Henry Ford. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
You don't have to stop there. You can visit the Detroit Historical Museum. It's at 5401 Woodward Avenue, 48202. They're open Wednesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Sundays, 1 to 5 p.m. There you can learn how many fires Detroit has overcome. There have been 3 major fires in Detroit's history that had almost wiped out Detroit. That is at the Detroit Historical Museum. We don't have to stop there.
What's next, Calvin?
Visit 800 Woodward Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48226. It is the campus Marsh's Park, taken over recently by Dan Gilbert and the crew in the city, all combined. There'll be food trucks, people, ice events. They do a whole winter wonder storm land and all of that at the campus Marsh's Park. That's directly in the city of Detroit. She didn't have the papers for it, so we had to go to the phone. Right? We had to.
I didn't have the addresses and phone numbers.
Right.
And just a reminder that there's been a lot of investment in our parks, and there's future investment in our rec centers. Just had a conversation with someone a couple of days ago about Crowell Rec Center and the amount of activity that they have going on in that space. There are lots of other recreation centers that are really, really producing a lot of great programming and things for families as well. So take advantage of that.
You can visit the Outdoor Adventure Center.
Is that the one downtown, the new one?
Located at 1801 Atwater Street.
Yeah,
it
I
is
haven't
the
been there yet.
Adventure Center Globe Trading Company building, 1801 Atwater Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48207. Closed on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, but open 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and 12 to 3 on Sunday. That is directly inside of Detroit. Let's not forget. Visit the historical Eastern Market.
For sure. And where's the address?
Oh.
And the phone number. Don't forget that.
Right. So it doesn't necessarily for the Eastern Market Corporation. You can visit down off of, what's this? They got off of, they call it the DeQuinder Cut in 375 in Russell. Right. And Eastern Market is tucked away. They have several little small candy shops, authentic food, things like that.
Did you say candy shop?
The candy shop. Right there when you turn right on is right there. It's a little candy maker right there on the corner. Red and white building on the corner. Then you also can visit the historical Burt's Marketplace, where there are performances. They have comedians. This is for family. You can go in there and eat as a family.
Okay. We can do that as a family, for sure.
All right.
Lots of places to eat.
Yes, lots of places. Oh, now here's one. Man-made. Visit the Detroit Heidelberg Project. 3600 Heidelberg. I did a photo shoot there. 3600 Heidelberg Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48207.
Well, awesome. Well, who knew you had so many places stashed away in your mind?
When has one Detroit?
Well, and speaking of that, you have Ford Field and Tiger Stadium.
You have Ford Field, Fox, the Fox Theater. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
State Theater.
Family fun, though. Family fun.
Yeah. Family fun always happening at the Fox. From Disney to DC to Marvel. Always going down at the Fox. Yes.
I do love the concerts in the park, though, that they have during the warmer weather. Even for people who are on a budget or no budget at all, Sitting outside of Shane Park is not a bad space either.
Shane Park, the Aretha Franklin.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Shane Park anymore, right? It's the Aretha.
Aretha Franklin Amphitheater. Yes.
Visiting. Okay, so now it's TCF Place now, right?
Which one?
Cobo Hall, where you speak.
No,
Cobo
it's
Hall.
Huntington.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That it keeps. I know it is Cobo Hall. So for people who are iconic about Detroit, we know it as Cobo Hall. Also, some amazing things are happening.
Aretha Franklin Amphitheater, located at 2600 Atwater Street, Detroit, Michigan, has a beautiful summer Wednesday musical series every year. Sold out, packed,
But
people,
not
everything.
Not for children. So
Okay.
you were going to argue the point. No.
You can call them at 313-393-0292. Book that.
So,
Did you guys say the Monroe Street, the roller skating, outside roller skating rink?
No. Yeah.
Monroe Street Midway.
nice. Is it a phone number or address?
They have mini golf and
Monroe Street?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
See
800 Monroe.
yeah. I was trying to see if I saw a phone number.
800 Monroe?
Hold on, let me go back.
I'm trying to picture where 800 Monroe is.
No. That was wrong.
But this is on Monroe? Is that in downtown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have oversized.
22 Monroe Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48226. Opens Thursday through Sunday, 12 to 11.
12 a.m.
12 p.m. to
12 p.m.
11 p.m.
Wow. That's
Monday
all day.
Thursday through Saturday, and Sundays 12 to 9 p.m.
So what kind of places?
Roller skating, basketball, they do it all.
Yeah, and they have mini golf.
Mini
as
golf,
well.
yeah.
And like oversized games
Yeah.
that are outside. And a lot of it is free. I don't believe the roller skating is. But
Yeah,
a
but
lot
they
of it is
come
free.
in with, the winter slides.
Oh, wow. No, that's new
Yeah.
to me. That's new to me, like what they've done with the
It's
Quinta
funny to
Cup.
me. You came in here with them.
Oh, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. You start somewhere.
It's funny to me.
But you have extended the list beyond our short list here. So that's great.
That's awesome.
So if you're out there and you're listening and you have other family places to spend time, send it in to us so that we can share it with our families. We can put it on our social media. Again, this is about how do we have family entertainment and family entertainment time and time that we can spend together to build, to grow, and to pass that legacy that life actually is meant to be enjoyed. We don't, our fear has overtaken us. The landscape of our communities is shifting, but we can shift it to make it what we want it to be. I love those people who are out there creating urban gardens and farming, whether they're flowers, herbs, fruits, and vegetables. Thank you for your contributions. For those of you who clean and pick up your neighbor's lawn and the trash, or take the trash can from the curb back to the side of somebody's house, thank you for doing that. For those of you who watch out and watch our kids go back and forth to school, thank you for what you do. For those who are willing to share a meal, a hot dog, especially when you have your grill going, thank you for sharing with those others who smell the hot dogs cooking on the grill, and you extend that kindness and that courtesy to others. Thank you for I've noticed that more and more barbershops have been opening up their grills and allowing people to partake in hot dogs or hamburgers on occasion. There's one in particular that was on 6 Mile, I believe, East 6 Mile, just past I-75, and for years I noticed that they did the same thing, and they provided free food for the community. So thank you for your efforts, and thank you for doing that, and for everybody who is taking that time to show that act of kindness. You are the ones that uplift the energy in our city. You are the ones that help change the landscape and make the environment more family friendly. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't stop, because your difference makes a difference. Your kindness makes an impact. So keep planting those seeds, keep cultivating the seeds of love and community in our families and in our neighborhoods, because we need it and we need you.
All right, well, y'all heard it right here. Detroit has more than you're willing to understand.
Family fun.
Right? So here at Put Your Family First, we went through the family fun events and buildings and locations and places. Lots of places for you to go to. I just so happen to want to go outside of Detroit, right? So I want to visit other countries. That's where I'm at. I'm at my age where that's what I want to do. Anyway, get out, enjoy your family. Listen, one of the first things you need to do before you take your family out is set some boundaries and some rules on how to conduct yourself. Too many times we get in trouble and we yell and scream it's racism when we didn't even have discipline at the table, right? When we know these police are out here, some good, some bad. Let's conduct ourselves in a way that is acceptable so our children can learn how to conduct themselves with police officers. Be prepared, right? A small story, I remember being pulled over. I got pulled over and I rode my faith hard. I was like, God, if every time the police pulled me over, I said, God, if you do this, I'm going to do this. God, if you get me out of this, I'm going to do this. And every time that cop came to the car, now I'm talking about I was on bowl. I ain't had no insurance. I ain't had no job. I was losing everything. And I'm talking about it had got so normal being blessed. I was like, wow. And then here the one time I get my son in the car, tell him he got a hoodie on. I said, man, take the hoodie off. He got the hoodie up on his head. What happened? Cop pulled me over and give me a ticket. Now, all this time, I ain't had no license or nothing. The Lord look out for me. My son get in the car, get pulled over, and the cop gives me a ticket. After God had blessed me all those times, I just didn't have no exchange at the time. Like, Lord, if you do this, and I couldn't, I couldn't barter at that point because I was telling my son, you can't be driving around with a hoodie on. They automatically gonna pull you over. You setting yourself up, right? And just as I'm telling him, they pull us over. With that being said, listen, go out, enjoy yourself this week. We'll be back next week. We're going to start bringing in some very powerful guests and different people from across. We're setting up a big event for November 17th. We're going to bring a bunch of women in the studio so they can talk about the Women's Wholeness Summit for all the women to come in, sponsored by Encourage Me I'm Young, Your Inspired Journey, and Huntington Bank. And so let's get ready. Let's get ready to rumble. It's time. Tonight is boss, and the mamas is cooking. Love my family. This has been METV. God bless you. Peace.